On today's show, Tessa Thompson meets some daddies that are hunting aliens. Uncharted loses its daddy, and Dame Judi Dench plays a daddy. That's not a lie. She's going to be a daddy in Artemis Fowl. Collider Movie Talk starts right now, or as we're rebranding the show, Collider Daddy Talk. That is not my joke. That belongs to Ash Crossan. That is Dani Fernandez. They are big fans of daddies and chatting about daddies online. So I'm
so happy right now.
Just kind of like a drunken uncle here because I don't think I have reached the status of daddy just yet.
I feel like you're a dog dad. You tell dad jokes. You definitely wear dad clothes.
I will push back on the dad jokes. I tell great uncle jokes.
And that's a
big step up.
Uncle jokes are like the creep, are like have a level of creep to them. So you want to stay in daddy lane.
I tell dad jokes, apparently. This is news to me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Collider Movie Talk. Once again, I'm thrilled to be joined by a returning favorite, Dani Fernandez, and making her debut on the program, the one, the only Miss Ash Crossan.
It's my debut.
For the first time, Ash from ET Online, from the news show. Are we okay with this?
Yes, that's my new show where we just talk about weird things like daddies and gritty and decide, are we okay with this?
Oh, I want to be on it.
You're going to be on it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're daddies and gritty. You obviously know Dani Fernandez from such shows as Fangirling, from her podcast Nerdificent, and you can catch her in theaters right now in Ralph Breaks the Internet. So, got a lot of fun stuff to get to today. Then at the end, since this is our last live show of the year, I want to just to give everybody a chance to say goodbye to 2018, to get ready to welcome 2019, and thank some people around the Collider Studios that have made my job super, super easy, because y'all know how much I love what? Naps. I also love Men in Black. I was a big fan of the first movie. That came out way back in 1997, the last millennium, and then they made a sequel, and I can't remember anything about it. Then they made a third one, and I kind of hated it. All apologies to Michael Stuhlbarg, but God, I could not stand your character in that one. I've loved you ever since. Now we have a new Men in Black, and it's totally rebooted, although it's not changing what we know from the lore of the previous Men in Black trilogy. Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones are memorialized in painting in this new trailer. The first look that we got Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, Liam Neeson coaching the younger kids around. I really liked everything I saw from this trailer. I think this is the best possible scenario for Men in Black going forward. Ash Crossan, you seem to be on the Men in Black trailer train.
Oh my gosh, it gave me all the feels because like you said, I love the first one so much, and then the sequels I was like, yeah. Okay, they exist, they're fine. But this one like comes right in with that theme that we love. It gives you that J&K painting on the wall. So I'm like, okay, we're not doing a total reboot. We're doing like a continuation where they exist somewhere at some point. And then like the worm guys are there. And there's also a Thor reference at the end of the trailer because he has this little tiny hammer and he throws it. And I'm like, the Revengers are in a movie together.
Yeah, this is Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie.
Yes.
And now we have her in Men in Black. The movie comes out in the heart of the summer in 2019.
Smart.
Dani, is this the summer movie to not miss, or are you still saving your money for Avengers?
Oh, are they competing against each other?
No,
you can only see one or the other. Yeah. I'm like, wow. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm more also excited because there wasn't a lot of introduction of new people other than them. So I am kind of excited to see what cameos they're going to throw in there. I do think that we might actually get to see possibly Will Smith coming back or something. I mean, did they die? I can't remember what happened. Did they go off into their lives? Did they get the
I don't remember what happened in the third one.
None of us do. None of us do.
I'm going right off the first one and just saying that that's the only thing that happened.
Okay, yeah.
Isn't that interesting though? Like, it feels like we as a collective audience did get the Men in Black memory swipe after the last movie. Some people really like it, and people have been telling me on Twitter, they're like, no, I was a fan of Men in Black 3, but let's be honest. If they wanted to shoehorn the characters of J and K into this new franchise somehow, they'd be able to do it without too much mythology changing. Is it something I want to see? Hell yes.
Yeah.
I would love to see both them in there. I don't think we're going to, but I am with you. I think we're going to see a lot of surprises.
Ash, I was going to say, it was funny when you were like, it started with that thing we all know and love. I'm like, London Bridges from Fergie, which I love the fact that they added that in there. I felt like she, deserves to be remembered, and not just for the national anthem, but for...
I've been listening to that song all day, though.
Me
no
too.
Joke. I'm like, that's fun. Oh, snap.
I love that kids from that, weren't born during that time, probably like, who is this?
Oh, Fergie Ferg.
Yeah,
Fergalicious,
Fergie Ferg.
the Duchess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she
the
did
Duchess
a
herself.
Super Bowl halftime show with the Black Eyed Peas. I mean, come on, guys, let's get on board. I'm on board with the Fergie train. And as far as this movie goes, I mean, look,
just derailed and talked about Fergie.
I'm happy to talk about Fergie all y'all want. However, she does not technically fit the profile of a daddy, so she's not really right for this show.
Oh, but Tessa does. I mean, did you look at her in that suit? I mean, she is dad AF.
Yes.
That's the biggest selling point of this trailer to me.
I know.
Because she shows up and she's like any of us if we found where the Men in Black were. And as a kid, I watched a lot of X-Files, watched a lot of the show Sightings. Anybody remember Sightings? More recently, it's kind of like Ancient Aliens, where I believe Men in Black exist. I believe that there's a shadow government that has Men in Black, and they send you, if you've seen an alien, they want to have a chat with you. They're not as fun or friendly as the Men in Black you see on the big screen. But the fact that Tessa Thompson is now this wide-eyed young lady who's going to be like, oh, I'm one of these people now. Seeing how happy she was in that suit, it did remind me of Will Smith from 97.
The endings of all those movies have messed me up for life because they're always like in the locker and realize we're like part of a much bigger world, or we're like in the marble and I'm like, oh, this is the truth.
That's us. I like the fact that she came in and she's like, no, I work here now. I'm like, that's the most Tessa Thompson thing ever. Like, yeah, no, I know where you are and I'm perfect for you. So
the film also stars Kumail Nanjiani is going to make an appearance in there, Rebecca Ferguson, and Liam Neeson, as you get to see a fair amount of him in the trailer. Liam Neeson and Emma Thompson. We had Emma Thompson in Men in Black 3 as well. I love them as the two elder statesmen, for lack of a better word.
Love Actually reunion.
They were both in Love Actually?
Yeah.
Are they together in Love Actually?
No, but he keeps calling her. Are they brother and sister or something?
That sounds familiar. Where do y'all stand? Because it is, we're going to be talking about the holidays a little bit, especially later on in the show. Where do y'all stand on Love Actually? Because people seem to have very, I hate to use the word divisive again and not talk about The Last Jedi, but not everybody's a fan of Love Actually, and I'm in that camp.
Yeah, I just did a whole video on this actually, and are we okay with this? Nice plug, thank you.
There it is.
No, I can't stand that movie. I don't understand it. I don't get who it's for. Like, you're supposed to watch it with your family, but then there's this subplot about like the adult film stand-ins that are there half the time, and you're like, well, I can't watch this with my dad. I don't know what's going on. And then the guy, Andrew Lincoln's character that's in love with Keira Knightley, who is like Chiwetel Ejiofor's wife, and he's like just taking close-up shots of her face
like
and ruining her wedding video. I don't understand.
I think you're supposed to watch it alone and hate yourself. I agree you can't watch it with anyone, but also there's a lot of fat shaming in it that I think.
That girl that's like a size 6 max.
Yeah, we're like the same size.
The worst fat shaming joke in history, because the dude, Colin first shows up, he's like, I want to marry your daughter, and the guy's like, oh sweet, you mean marry the daughter that nobody's ever talked to because she's a little overweight, and then it has a picture of her and she's all hopeful. It's like, that's what you go. Anyway,
no, he's like, I want to marry the other one, the hot one that I also never talked to because we never actually had a conversation in the movie.
I think that it wouldn't be made today.
No.
We look back at things with a different air of we've progressed since that.
Well, let us know your thoughts on Love Actually for sure, and whether it is the holiday movie to beat, and more importantly, your thoughts on the first trailer from F. Gary Gray. That's right, F. Gary Gray stepping in for Barry Sonnenfeld on the new Men in Black movie. Last question about Men in Black before we move on to our next topic. And originally this movie, and maybe this is just me getting on my soapbox again, but this movie, there were rumors they're going to try to reboot Men in Black and try to pair it into the universe that had already been created for 21 Jump Street.
Right,
there were rumors. He's going to be Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill, and the Men in Black are going to be in there. And I think it would have been a great experiment, because I don't think it would have cost either franchise if it was a misstep, if the movie wasn't good. I think it would have been fun. Dani, can I sell you on Men in Black?
Yes,
and
please
21
do.
Jump Street?
Oh my gosh, I just need more of these random weird crossovers. Holy crap. Yeah. If you were saying that, I know nobody wants to have Back to the Future rebooted, but if it were like Back to the Future and freaking like Aquaman or something, I mean, just do it.
Back to the Future
I want to see
Aquaman.
These two. I want to see Mary Poppins and Aquaman and Bumblebee, just all of these come together. I mean, yeah, why not? I don't know. It's going to be 2019. We can do whatever we want.
I'm sensing a level of sarcasm, but
I want the studios to take the two most random movies that they both own and just turns out they're in the same world.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Well,
I do hope we get another original Men in Black song though, because Here Come the Men in Black was a bop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Here Come the Men in Black. Reminds me of high school years, and if I was a fan of the crossover potentiality between that and 21 Jump Street, I'm totally cool with this movie being a standalone, because I did really enjoy the trailer. We move on to our next story, which is a game that I've never played, so I can't really tell you if I've enjoyed it or not, but people seem to love it. That is Uncharted. The Uncharted franchise was going to be one of the next video game 2 film adaptations we were going to see if we can just get it right, and now if we can just get a director, because there's been reports today from THR that Shawn Levy is going to be stepping away from directing the project, partially because he has a new movie he wants to work on, and that movie is going to be from a different studio. So Sony is going to be handling Uncharted. 20th Century Fox is going to be giving him the green light for Free Guy. This movie stars Ryan Reynolds because he's not busy enough, and it's basically a live-action film where you have a video game universe, and there's people who are non-players in there, so they're just the background players in a video game, and they realize the game is about to be shut down, and they have to try to save the video game. Dani, if this sounds a little familiar to a project that you are aware of, just stop me anytime. Shawn Levy stepping away from Uncharted, which is a video game movie, to do this game.
About a game getting shut down.
The video game world.
You know, I think that he's going to have a lot of fun with this. I mean, Lil Rel is in it. I mean, what a last 2 years Lil Rel has had. Like being in Get Out and getting his Insecure and then get his own show. And now he's going to be in this. And I'm excited to see his character in this. Of course, Ryan Reynolds, who is our beloved Pikachu and is in other video game, adaptations. So I think that it's, if put against each other, I think it's because it looks a lot like it's going to be a lot of fun. You have a lot of comedic people. And so if you're like, hey, dangling this action comedy in front of him, yeah, I can understand why he would want to jump to that.
Yeah, and Ash Free Guy, I mean, it's not a known property. It's something that feels, if not wholly original, it does feel like something that we haven't seen in video game form before. Whereas Uncharted, that's a tough thing to take on because fans are so fervent. They love the video game. So as a fan of the video game, do you feel a little precious with if it gets adapted to the big screen, it has to be done right or else your whole world is burning?
Not whole world is burning, but it's one of those things where it's like, is this ever going to happen? We've been talking about it for years. And then Tom Holland is attached to it as the lead. And that's confusing to me because I love Tom Holland. I won't talk any crap about him, but he just isn't Nathan Drake.
He's like Nathan Drake's kid, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a younger version of him in this movie. But to me, Nathan Fillion has always been my fan cast Nathan Drake. And then he made that fan film, Uncharted film, and that kind of satiated my need for an Uncharted movie.
Is there a possibility that we get, if not Uncharted being the next video game adaptation, is it going to be Detective Pikachu? What is going to be the video game movie that finally breaks the mold? Because forever we've been talking,
they can't crack
maybe
it.
It's Warcraft, maybe it's Tomb Raider. What's the best video game in y'all's eyes to translate to the big screen? And you're allowed to take Pikachu.
Absurd. I want Super Smash Brothers. Can you imagine? Why'd you make that face?
I'm trying to imagine a
Can you
plot.
imagine? Yeah, but you just throw in Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, just put in, Lupita, just throwing everybody, all these stars in there, and they all have to battle each other. That doesn't sound amazing. It's like Celebrity Deathmatch.
It sounds like how they're gonna host the Oscars this year.
I think it would be a lot of fun to see that and have two huge teams of celebrities, people that you love, and playing these characters.
Okay, so one vote for Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Ash?
Mine is the Tekken franchise because they have all these super interesting backstories that go on. Once you get through 10 levels, then you beat the boss, and then it does this cutscene where you find out a little bit of information about the character that you just played with. They make you really go through these. But there's this whole storyline with Heihachi and Kazuya and Jin, and they're grandson, son, and whatever, you know what I mean, grandson and whatever. And one of them turns into a devil, and one of them kills each other, and they're evil, and then they're nice, and then they're bad. And it's so good.
Okay, well, Dorian is in our chat room, as Collider Video, and he says,
I know, everyone's probably what?
The infamous
is she
franchise.
talking about?
No, I sign off on Tekken because if you look at the history of fighting games being adapted to the big screen, you got a really bad one, Street Fighter. You got a great one. I call it the greatest video game of all time. It's the first Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat,
I think Tekken could work.
They're gonna make a Super Smash Brothers movie, and you guys are all gonna come back to this video.
There's no way they're not going to make that.
Yeah. Thank you. And the fact that you could have John Hamm as Kirby, or whatever. They're gonna. You make that face, but just y'all call me in 5 years. They're gonna make it.
I'm happy that you have a dream. I think that this is.
They'll
great.
make some backstory about how the game is getting shut down, and then I don't know, but it's gonna happen.
Okay. Seeing the chat room is very fervent. First of all, a lot of people in the chat room signing off on both Tekken and Super Smash Brothers.
Thank you.
Some people are saying Super Mario Brothers. It is being rebooted as an animated film, I believe, from Illumination Entertainment. So look forward to that. Sonic. I'm not sure how people feel about Sonic.
I'm into Sonic.
And I love Ben Schwartz, and I'm glad he's doing it.
If Ben Schwartz wasn't attached to it, I don't know how I'd feel. But Ben Schwartz and Jim Carrey,
yes,
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik.
He is.
Eggman, Robotnik, whatever we're calling him these days.
What was y'all's game as a kid? Was it Tekken and Super Smash Brothers, or was it?
Yeah, I went from Sega to PlayStation 1 to PS2, and then I also had a Game Boy.
Yeah.
Mine will
all those games
forever be Diddy Kong Racing, but also Super Mario 64, which is just remember when you can like take the crying penguin baby and just walk it off the cliff? That was the type of child I was. So
I have another answer.
Walked the penguin off a cliff.
I want a live action Streets of Rage because that was my favorite video game.
That was a cool game. I remember
Yes.
that. Yeah, I never really got on the Mario Kart train. I played a little game called Tecmo Super Bowl. If you, any of you kids, they're not going to make a movie about it, but they already
You
made a
acted like you were
commercial.
going to get a huge
I would
cheers
like
out of that.
I was waiting.
Truck Dinosaur Hunter. That's what I played.
That's a real game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Truck Dinosaur Hunter. So, for
A
more
super
information
dark
on these video games,
live action Animal Crossing.
That's wicked.
It's so dark.
Just kids, don't drop penguins off cliffs. That's not
I'm
nice
not the
to
only
do.
one that did that. That was a common thing to do. It's like also when you're Kirby and you just suck up someone you can walk off the cliff. That is a recurring pattern to me, I know.
I guess that's
Lemmings.
how they do things in Texas. Well, before we get to our next story, I want to remind you guys that we just announced yesterday and tickets went on sale for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Award Show. It's going to be live. Well, we're going to do it live. It's going to be live to tape for everybody watching it, but you do have a chance to be in the audience to watch all of the carnage go down at the gala that I'm so excited to say is going to be in the main room of the world famous Comedy Store Saturday, January 12th. Yours truly, Baby Carrots, is going to be hosting the event. There's going to be a ton of luminaries from the Schmoedown universe, and like I said, January 12th, you can get tickets online. You can go to my website, markellislive.com, or you can go to the Comedy Store's website. January 12th is the date. There's only about 250 tickets total that you can buy. About half of those are already sold, so make sure you grab them before it's too late. January 12th, 1 p.m. That's the place to be at the world famous Comedy Store in Hollywood, California. Speaking of the Schmoedown, tomorrow's the big day. The Schmoedown Spectacular, 6 epic matches. Yes, I'm announcing all of them. Yes, I will be sweaty. I will be tired and mostly sober. And you guys can see all of the stuff. There's going to be championships. Do they change hands? Who's going to New York? All those questions will be answered, and we'll ask some new questions on it yesterday. It all goes down tomorrow, the big Schmoedown Spectacular. That is our Super Bowl, our WrestleMania. Look forward to all of you enjoying that and your comments about how well dressed I was. I was pretty well dressed.
Wow, that was
Yeah.
crazy. There's no prompter or anything.
I
You
know.
just
I like
went
to
for
remind
it.
people Mark doesn't look at a prompter ever.
No,
and I
this
always do.
I'm literally reading ESPN.com as we as we do this. I don't even have the show
It's
notes.
impressive. It's impressive.
A movie that we're all looking forward to, that everybody is pumped about because we love Key and Peele. We believe in Jordan Peele as a director, the Academy Award winning Jordan Peele because of Get Out. He's got horror sensibilities. He's helping usher in the new generation of the Twilight Zone, and he's got a new movie coming out called Us. Now, the trailer drops Christmas Day. We got a teaser poster, and now we have some images from the movie, as well as Jordan Peele talking with Entertainment Weekly. He basically said that this is his version of a monster movie. He wants to stay within the genre of horror, but he does like putting in some fun twists and turns in there as well. A family that is the patriarch is played by Winston Duke. The matriarch is Lupita Nyong'o. They go on a vacation to her family's beach house that's in Northern California, and things go awry because the tethered show up. Is it tethered? They're untethered. Scary people show up in their driveway. Who the hell are these people? Are they the strangers? What is going on? Again, not a whole lot of detail here, but these images look like some stuff is about to go down. The trailer drops Christmas. I know, Dani, you got some scissors in the mail.
A lot of us did.
I did not get any scissors.
I got these massive scissors that are on the poster.
The gold shear things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of people tweeting that got random scissors. I plan to keep them by my bedside, so thank you, Jordan, for that. In case anyone tries to break in.
Yeah.
You know, I know that it does sound a little bit like The Strangers, but knowing Jordan, there's no way that it's, you know, I think it's going to be so original and so different and something that that none of us will really even think of that is going to happen with this. So the fact that it's a monster movie, though, they can't necessarily just be people. It has to be something even bigger than that. And when he says that, does he mean something like Cloverfield? Like, what exactly is the type of monster that he's talking about?
That's the big question, Ash, because he said a monster mythology is what he wants to create. So, I mean, people can be monsters, certainly, but do you think it's going to be a human form monster? Or do you think we're going to get a little more grotesque and creaturey with this version?
I hope creaturey. I think that'd be cool. And like that poster situation gives me like some Freddy Krueger vibes,
for
right?
sure, for sure.
It gives me like Freddy Krueger, the Strangers,
leather-
Handmaid's Tale vibes. Also,
Yeah.
you know who's a daddy? Winston Duke.
Yeah, M'Baku is maybe
he is.
the king of the daddies at this point.
I would say
Vegan daddy.
I would
Vegan daddy.
Say, yeah,
Is he
I would
vegan?
say
He's vegetarian, you know, in Black Panther.
Oh, I was going to say, I was like, Is there some sort of
I'm
Winston
sorry, I've
Duke
watched
diet?
it way too many times. I know it. I know it like the back of my hand.
M'Baku's a vegetaririan?
Yeah, remember? He joked. He said, yeah, I'll feed you to my kids. Just kidding, we're vegetarians.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
I've watched it too much.
Yeah.
Just that specific part for him.
It is a good movie, and I'm excited to see this one as well, because I think this will be another good movie. Christmas Day, I'm going to be opening some presents. If there is an Olympic hole in my stocking, I'm going to be watching a lot of NBA action, as always I am known to do. And then this trailer is going to be something I'm waiting for it to drop, because I'm pumped to see what Jordan Peele's mind brings, because I don't want to peg anybody with past directors that we've had in this genre, but doesn't this feel a little bit like an early Shyamalan situation where anytime his name is attached to something in the horror genre, we start thinking, okay, we know it's going to be something good, but we also know it's not going to be just as it's advertised. There's going to be a little bit of mystery and maybe a twist in there somewhere.
I think also with Jordan, there's social commentary, and I think that's so important, and I think that he does it in such a beautiful way. So yeah, I would say that he definitely does stand out from other directors in my mind. I love the fact that he's tied it to Christmas. I feel like this is something that we saw with Black Mirror last year, the last couple of years, of taking something that's supposed to be a joyous holiday and bringing out the ugly, the inner darkness that I feel we all have inside of us. This got dark. But Christmas can be terrifying with your family. So I love the fact that it's dropping that day. Relevant.
It's not always Santa Claus, kids. Sometimes it's actually Krampus. I'm going to give you all the list of films that Jordan Peele asked Lupita Nyong'o to check out so that they could have kind of a shared language during the shooting of the movie.
Okay.
He mentioned that she should see Dead Again, The Shining, The Babadook, It Follows, A Tale of Two Sisters, The Birds, Funny Games, Martyrs, Let the Right One In, and Shyamalan's, I guess, magnum opus, the original, the one that started it all, The Sixth Sense. Which one of those movies is y'all's favorite? If I give you that list.
Oh, God.
Are you a horror movie person?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe you're looking at The Shining, The Babadook, It Follows,
The
Sixth
Shining, for
Sense.
sure.
The Shining?
Yeah, I think that's the one I watched most out of all of those.
Okay. Dani
Yeah.
Fernandez.
The
your
Shining, I
horror
feel like,
movie.
is so paved the way for many of those. But I will say my most recent that I just love and go back to and listen to the soundtrack when I'm writing is It Follows. It is such a, for something to take something so minimal as something that just walks and follows you and you can easily outrun it, to have that constant terror following you throughout your life.
Yeah.
It was just it was so brilliantly done.
It's interesting, too, the list he gave wasn't necessarily all these old-time classic horror movies. It's stuff that came out kind of recently.
Yeah, I mean, it's, in the last 20, 25 years, and The Shining was 79, and it's like, these are movies that it's cool that a director, and particularly him and Lupita Nyong'o, because I don't know if they just didn't mention that he asked Winston Duke to go watch movies or anybody else, but it's like, him and Lupita, but maybe they have this shared thing where you don't want the other performers to know because this could be a situation, I love when movies do this, where it's like, okay, Ash and Dani, y'all are starring in this movie, Ash gets her lines, Dani gets her lines, and you don't know exactly where it's going to go. It's fun sometimes when you read about these productions that keep the actors on edge where they don't even know what's coming next. So, okay, well, now we're all very excited for Christmas Day when that trailer is going to drop. Then the movie drops on the Ides of March 15th, 2019. Next up is the first image that we have for Artemis Fowl. You don't know what the hell Artemis Fowl is? Well, it's a series of books that Disney is going to make into movies. That certainly sounds familiar. Judi Dench is in this one, Dame Judi Dench, but it's kind of a gender swap because the role that she's playing in the books is a dude, and she is Dame Judi Dench, an all-time screen icon. She's stepping in to be the father figure that is Commander Root, and she helps rouse the troops, if you will, to go against the conniving Artemis Fowl, who is a villain. I haven't read the books. So you probably know, if you've ever watched the show or met me in person, I'm not really good at reading, but Artemis Fowl, it seems like the kid's a villain, but it's a kid. It's a teenage kid named Artemis Fowl, and, we got the trailer, and it looks like the kid maybe can be redeemed. I'm not looking at this like a, the Emperor situation. I think Artemis Fowl may have some good still left in him. Does the fact that Judi Dench is the fairy commander in this movie do anything for either one of y'all?
Honestly, if you showed me that image and was like, what is this from? I'd be like, I don't know, maybe Captain Marvel or something.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
Good guess.
Judi Dench definitely gets me going a little bit more, but I know nothing about Artemis Fowl. I remember those books being at the Scholastic Book Fair, and then I'd walk by them and go to Calvin and Hobbes. So I know nothing about this story other than this image of Judi Dench.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Calvin Hobbes. I went right to the far side. Gary Larson is a master. Dani Fernandez, I know you're a huge reader of Artemis Fowl. You have all of the collectibles all over your apartment.
Oh,
don't.
We need
Tell
you.
us why we need these.
You know, if you were to show me this image, I would be like, oh, is this like a James Bond's Christmas special? But I honestly, when I looked at it, I was like, I thought it was a Santa Claus reboot and that she was going to play Bernard this
that's
time.
good.
The elf. Man. I'm still going to pitch that to Disney. My friends. No, I'm excited for anything she does. I think this is really cool. I know that they'll probably make it in a way that even if you haven't read the books, it'll still be great. So yeah, I'm also going into it blindly.
Yeah, the movie comes out August 9th. Like, I can't get excited for it, but I will say this. Like, I don't know this movie's going to make money or make the kind of money that Disney's accustomed to, but The Nutcracker and the Four Realms didn't do very well when it came out. I was dreading going to see it. I actually thought it was okay. So there's that, but Artemis Fowl, Judi Dench with elf ears, I'm going to be excited. I'm like, oh, is this like a modern technology version of Lord of the Rings? Do they finally have Wi-Fi? I'm not going that far with this. Artemis Fowl, you guys let us know if you care about Artemis Fowl, and if you do care about it, tell us what you think of the image. We move on to our last story, but before we do that, I want to remind everybody out there, we're going to save some time for your live Twitter questions. Let's have some fun today. It's the last live one of the year, so get all those questions that you had just burning in the inside of your cerebral cortex since the year started. Tweet us at Collider Video. Use the hashtag Collider Movie Talk. I will check out your tweet when we go to our little break, Dorina. Thank you for your participation in the live chat. Wink. I bet it's about Young Guns, too. Okay, we move on to our last story. That is Bad Boys 4, adding some talent. Alexander Ludwig and Vanessa Hudgens have been added to the cast. Why is this story exciting? Because they're adding people to Bad Boys for Life, meaning Bad Boys for Life is this much closer to actually taking place. I'm not going to let myself believe. I know Josh McCouga is waiting with bated breath to see some sort of set photos, to see a trailer. The movie, called Bad Boys for Life, does reteam Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, and Vanessa Hudgens, Alexander Ludwig. They're going to play like a new specialized police force, and they don't really jive with the old school methods of our beloved Bad Boys. The movie is set for a January 17th, 2020 release date. Ashley just gave you some more talented names to add to Bad Boys for Life. Were you already on board with this production?
I gotta be honest, I've seen the movies, but I'm not like, oh my God, they're doing another Bad Boys, I'm gonna die. It's fine. But I do love Alexander Ludwig. He's somebody that I've interviewed a lot over the years. I've gotten to know him a little bit. He's such a cool guy, and I hope he's like some kind of villain situation because he's dope.
All right, so Dani, it seems like I asked Ash, are we okay with this?
Yes.
And Ash isn't sure. I think she's okay with this.
Yeah.
Are you over the moon about a new Bad Boys?
Have you been watching Will Smith's Instagram stories where he's like so inspirational now?
I saw when he turned 50 and he jumped out of the thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Every day he just like pumps up. It's like, thanks, Dad. I wish that that's his character now. I hope he's like some inspirational speaker or something. Like maybe they need to, maybe he like is not so bad anymore and they need to get him to be bad again. I don't know. I love the fact that Vanessa Hudgens is in it. I think she's so talented. I think that we haven't even gotten to see her in her full capacity. I'm glad that she's now, re-emerging in a lot of these major motion pictures, as aside from the musicals and stuff that she's done. But I think that she's a great actress, and I'm excited to see what she's going to do. And I hope that she goes bad. I hope she goes bad. I hope she breaks bad. I hope she breaks bad.
But just
Are they all bad?
They're good, but they're bad in like a Bad Boys.
Like a daddy's kind of way?
Yes, they actually. You want to talk about daddies on this show? This is the story. I would put these two daddies up against any of the other daddies that we were talking about.
Okay.
Whether Hemsworth is a daddy, whether Liam Neeson is a daddy, whether Shawn, Levy, Tom Holland's not a daddy, but Nathan Drake could be a daddy.
Yeah, Drake's definitely a daddy.
He's definitely a daddy.
Yeah.
Ash, tell me you haven't had impure thoughts to a video game character.
What?
Oh, I saw Bumblebee.
Excuse
me, I saw Bumblebee last night, and I've always said that Optimus Prime is a robot daddy, like 1,000%. That voice, he's dad. He's dad. Hellboy is daddy. Very excited for that.
My first crush was Johnny Quest.
My first crush was Jack Skellington. He's not even alive. I had a crush on a claymation character, and that explains my dating life.
Anyway, so that's about us.
Well, it's been a fun episode of Daddy Talk so far. You know what? We could all use a palate cleanser. And here, maybe the galaxy that has the most daddies in any universe would be the galaxy far, far away. Something we're very excited about here at Collider is the top 10 heroes in the Star Wars universe. There's a lot to choose from. We cobbled it down to 10 with some honorable mentions. It's going to be dropping, I believe, Christmas Eve. I'm getting the yes sign. Christmas Eve night. You can check that out. Here's a quick look at what you can expect with the best heroes in a galaxy far, far away.
We're here today to discuss the top 10 heroes in all of Star Wars.
I got a bad feeling about this.
There's no Star Wars in theaters, so guess what? You're getting the top 10 Star Wars heroes.
Across all media, TV shows, movies, what have you. So I'm excited to talk about this.
Don't get excited.
Who's the most courageous, valiant, brave? Who did the most good?
Who had impact inside of the Star Wars galaxy? We got it for you.
Hello there.
These are the best of the best Star Wars heroes. I am so excited to see how we mess this list up.
No! This one goes there, that one goes there, right?
I love Star Wars because on the one hand, it lets my imagination run wild and it gives me a chance to tap into things that are completely out of the realm of possibility for me.
It was just really, to me, this blueprint for being able to overcome all odds and accomplish the impossible. And at its core, that's what the original trilogy was really about.
It blew my mind. This expansive galaxy where this war was going on, impressive effects, it swept me up when I was young.
Star Wars to me is storytelling at its best. It's heroes, it's villains, it's mythology, it's heroes' journeys.
As crazy as it is, a lot of the characters are extremely relatable and aspirational.
I love Star Wars because it makes me feel like I'm a part of a bigger world, something that I can share with my friends, with my family. It's this unspoken, unseen link that unites us all. It surrounds us, it penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together. Star Wars is my force.
This is where the fun begins.
That's right, the saga begins Christmas Eve, and if I can just, once again, I don't know who that guy was that they had the Chiron mark Ellis, but I hope he had fun the night before because, my God, does that boy look puffy. Gee, I look like Jabba ate Watto in that interview, and I just don't know what to do about it.
I have offered to dress you so many times. You let me dress you one year for San Diego Comic-Con, and you looked amazing and got a lot of compliments, and I dressed you for some of your premieres.
Yeah, you have.
I'm always here as your best friend to help dress you in stuff that's other than what we just saw.
How'd I do today?
Great.
Oh, well, look at that. There we go. Thank you, by the way, Dorina and Nathan watching. Nathan, you got your own Young Guns 2 poster. Congratulations. If that actually is the one from here and you stole it, then I will ride to wherever your dwelling is and I will take it back because that's not what pals do. Hashtag Garrett's Place. Very inside joke, but if you've seen Young Guns 2, enjoy it. We are going to do live Twitter questions, but I wanted to kick off with a question that has been asked on Twitter that I've seen around the Collider Studios the fair amount of the last couple weeks, months, and I think y'all are the perfect panelists to answer this very question. So this is how we kick off our live Twitter questions. You both are dog owners. You both love your pups very much. And one of the questions that I love is, that's Ash's dog right there.
Oh my God!
Gonna go home and see the puppy?
Oh my God, she looks so peaceful, and she is the craziest lady that has ever existed.
A lot of energy in there.
Oh my God.
And then there's Molly.
There's my baby.
Molly, the wonder dog.
That's my baby right
So the question is, I love how she's looking up like she's about to go fight
running
crime.
for president.
Molly 2020. If y'all's dogs were to be any movie character, what movie character would they be? Keep in mind, this does not have to just be a dog. Like, it doesn't have to be Benji or, although I do think Molly resembles Max, the Grinch's dog.
Yeah.
Who would your dog be in a movie?
Well, my dog's name is Phasma, but I named her that before the movie came out. I didn't know that Phasma was going to be such a minimal character.
Your dog has a bigger role in your life.
She has a big role in my life. I bought all the merch, and then she barely shows up.
So we're working on Phasma with the dog
So
Phasma.
I'm going to go with Gwendolyn Christie in Game of Thrones, though.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, I like that.
I'll go with that.
Dang.
Lots of energy, wants to protect me.
Brienne of Tarth, I believe.
Yeah, there we go.
That's the one name.
Completely blanked on that.
I can always remember. So Dani, if we have a Brienne of Tarth, do you want to go Game of Thrones as well? Do you want to go in some other?
I think it would be funny if Molly were John Wick. And she were avenging my death. I think that would be funny. I think her as Darth Vader. I just want to see her murder people, apparently. I think that would be funny.
Okay.
The coach in Air Bud. I don't know, like not the like. I still want the dog, but I also want my dog to be the coach. coach.
I love the idea of Molly as a coach because Molly has a lot of energy. She can pace on the court back and forth, but she can also bark at an official because Molly is not shy. She will let you know how she feels, and if an official misses a call, I kind of like Molly being an Airbud or in Hoosiers or a football coach.
I still want her to be a dog, though, so I just want her to bark and there be subtitles like, get it together! Whose house is this?
I always like to think if my dog had a celebrity voice, whose voice would it be?
Yes.
And mine has so much energy. Like, I think she's definitely Kevin Hart.
I love
like,
it.
It would just be Kevin Hart shouting constantly.
I think ours, Molly, is Dame Judi Dench. I think she sounds like an 80-year-old smoker, 1,000%.
That's what her voice is.
She's like, get your life together, Danny. Stop bringing these guys over here. Where's my dad?
Stepdad is down the street, Molly. You can come over anytime. God, I love that dog so much. Did you see the most recent vid we made? We did a Christmas sing-along.
This has gotten too
Oh, now I can't talk about the Taylor Swift sing-along.
Please.
We sang along to Taylor Swift's Last Christmas. Is it my favorite version of Last Christmas? No. Did I know Taylor Swift did a version of Last Christmas? No, but it was on the radio, and Molly and I sang to it. And Molly was really thinking about Last Christmas and who she gave her heart to.
This is very incestuous.
Got very deep there. We move on to our first official live Twitter question. J. Scott St. Clair kicks us off, and he says, if you could select a New Year's resolution for all of Hollywood, what new leaf would you turn over? So it's 2019. You wake up, you are Hollywood. You're Tinseltown, and you say, all right, I am going to do this, and I'm not going to do this. Where do you go in the new year?
It's really hard not to say like very obvious things.
No, please.
You can go as dark or
please.
Equal pay, better roles for women.
Yes. Mine would be allowing people of color to actually write the stories that you're making of people of color. A lot of times behind the scenes, it's not, you'll have a person of color, or they're trying to tell the stories, but then you look behind the scenes and it's not. Also crew that I've noticed filming on things. I've now, as acting in more things, I've noticed a lot of the crew is not. And so just allowing us to be able to tell our own stories, and that means taking risks. I understand that, but yeah.
Okay, my first.
I would say more daddies as well.
That too.
Yeah,
one of us had to say.
We definitely need more daddies. That actually is our next question. Is a friend of the show, a loyal viewer, Daniel Kennedy, asking, "Who's the best daddy of 2018? Who is the daddy of the year?"
Daniel, it's you.
From our good friend Daniel Kennedy. I've met Daniel, I've interacted with him, had a few beers with the gentleman. Daniel is definitely a nominee for Papa of the Year.
By the way, I just want to reference that SNL had an amazing Westminster Daddies sketch that I think both Ash and I were sent multiple times.
Yeah, I think us along with Scott Wampler may have written it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so if you think that we're so much into daddies, like SNL did an entire sketch on daddies. So so of course Jeff Goldblum will always be head daddy.
Okay.
And then I think coming up in the ranks is Steve Carell, as he's now Silver Fox daddy.
Yeah.
He did that like Forbes or what was it? No, GQ or Variety, like that photo shoot he did, and everyone was like, "Excuse me, sir, where have you been?" with his like Silver Fox bearded daddy. And then David Harbour, who is now, I think that is the,
I think
Idris
Josh
Elba
Brolin is also.
Yes.
Thanos, certainly a daddy.
Yeah,
Daddy
Idris
took
will
too many.
always be,
Idris,
everyone's dad. That sounded weird.
No, that sounds
You know
good.
what I meant? I mean, he's everyone's type because he's so beautiful.
And we have our own show about daddies now, Collider Daddy Talk,
I'm
which
so glad
somehow
this is how today unfolded.
I host. Well, we have one more live Twitter question, and it is getting into the season of giving in a sense. It comes from DJ Oldboy. He asks, what's your favorite Christmas horror movie? For him, he says The Gingerbread Man, starring Gary Busey as a serial-killing gingerbread cook. How have I not heard of this?
So
Cody,
great.
how have I not heard of this movie? This sounds great. It's kind of like Child's Play. So he's going, and there's a sequel to The Gingerbread Cookie called Passion of the Crust. See what you did there?
Wow.
So your favorite Christmas horror movies. I would count Gremlins as a Christmas horror movie.
Yeah.
That is, you can go recent with Krampus. You can go Silent Night,
The
Deadly
Shining
Night.
in
the
some
movie
way
with
should be able
Goldberg?
to be. I feel like The Shining should be,
It's snowy in The Shining. They probably spent Christmas there. They were
a lot of red.
checking out the Yes, there's a lot of red. It's snowing outside. They have like the maze that kind of feels Christmassy, so I might let that one pass. Ash, what do you got?
Okay, I couldn't think of the name of the movie, but it stars Goldberg as Santa, and it's called Santa's Sleigh. Sleigh spelled S-L-A-Y. Because he's a murderous Santa, and Santa's,
Nice.
Satan scrambled. So
Okay.
he murders a lot of people. A lot of celeb cameos in it. It's really great.
I'm liking that. So Santa Sleigh, and
this isn't a Christmas movie, but last year I got all my friends together on Christmas Eve. We had an orphan Christmas Eve, and we watched Cowboys vs. Dinosaurs, which is on Netflix, and I highly recommend it. Instead of watching Christmas movies this Christmas Eve, watch that or Zombies. I love all those it's a zombie zoo. I love all those extremely low budget films. They will make you laugh and have a good time with your friends.
Okay. Since this has kind of been the show, I just want to put everything out there on the table and just hit this right on the nose. Who's the best Santa Claus of all time? And I imagine they are going to be a daddy of some sort.
Oh, man.
So Tim Allen. Is it now Kurt Russell? I haven't seen the new Kurt Russell movie, but probably getting
but
my
I would
vote.
say my favorite Christmas movie with a Santa in it is The Santa Claus. I love that movie so
good.
much.
The Santa Claus. Okay.
It's so good. I actually thought that was how you spelled Santa Claus till I was like in high school, and someone corrected me on a chat forum.
I still do
I see people still doing it, and I'm like, you're a millennial. It's so good. Gosh, it's good. It was him
so
in
much
his
better
prime.
as an adult too, when you just watch the way he treats Neil. Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
the jokes.
I did respond to that the last time I was forced to watch the Santa Claus, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually Neil." Yeah, okay. So now I'm a fan of Santa Claus. There, I always hated Home Improvement, but Tim Allen,
Lord.
I can sign off on for your Santa Claus if that's the direction you choose to go. Well, it's been a fun show. It's been a fun year as we close up shop here. First of all, I do want to thank my incredible panelists today. Returning Dani Fernandez, where can all the kids out there find you and all the wonderful work you will be doing in 2019?
I'm at Ms. Dani Fernandez. It's MSDANIFERNANDEZ. I have a show at How Stuff Works called Nerdificent with Ify Wadiway. I'm at Nerdist, and like Mark said, go check out Ralph Breaks the Internet. Still in theaters, still doing hot.
If you follow her
awesome, by the way.
co-host Ify on Instagram, he's a daddy and he's also a father. So
wow,
you got both of them.
Wow, he would appreciate that.
That was for you, Ify. Ash Crossan, where can all the kids check out all the wonderful work you will be doing in the new year?
You can find me on Twitter at Ash Crossan. I post all my stuff and pin the latest, and then you can see me and Dani talking about daddies constantly on there. And then I'm on etonline.com all the time, and that's where I do all my interviews and my show, Are We Okay With This? So check all of that out.
Check all that out. And in the new year, I'll be doing stand-up at a lot of fun places. You guys can catch me first in Los Angeles. I'll be hosting the Schmo Down Awards show, doing some stand-up on New Year's Eve at the Comedy Store. And then I'll be in New York City. I'll be in Phoenix, Seattle, Portland, and Chicago during Star Wars Celebration. You can get tickets for all of those on my website, markellislive.com. And as we say goodbye here, it's been a great year here at Collider Video. It's 2018, and it's the last time I'm going to be on any sort of microphone live. I don't know what y'all's situation for the rest of your professional year.
This is my finale.
Do you have any grievances you'd like to air in 2018 before we call it a year?
I'm glad it's been the year of the daddy. It's been a wonderful year. I can't believe we have another year coming up, which is crazy because this one's been so long. And that's it.
And if I may say, I'm so happy to see you evolve from the Pork Queen to the Mamma Mia supporter to now a Spider-Verse
Well, this is going to
fan.
be like, after a couple episodes of Jedi Council, people were like, enough with the porgs. And now I'm waiting for the enough with the daddies.
It'll happen.
I actually got a text
It'll
yesterday.
happen from the internet. When the internet decides to move on is when we will move on. We'll move on to mommies and then probably aunts and uncles.
Yeah, I think daddy's the new bae. I still don't know how to say it. Dani Fernandez, any grievances you want to air? Any remembrances of 2018?
I mean, publicly? My professional, it was a great year for me professionally. Personally, I don't know if those two things go hand in hand. They do for Ash, so I'm happy for you. I'm kidding. It's been great.
Well, it's what I've always said. If just one out of the three of us can be in a meaningful relationship, that's a win for the entire team. Close the old computer here and just say thank you all to all of the incredible fans out there. And I'm going to tell all you kids something really quick. Mediocrity is not something to strive for. unless you're me and you're surrounded by an incredibly talented group of hardworking people day in and day out, they make my job look very easy. And to be honest, they make it pretty easy. I'm looking at you, Adam Smith, Cody Hall, Perry Nemiroff, Mark Riley, who helped create the show notes that I read each and every day to the best of my ability without a teleprompter. Thad, Kopster, everybody else around here that just is such a joy to work with Monday through Thursday here at Collider Video. And when you look at the year 2018, it's been a mixed bag, as every year is. There's been tremendous successes I've gotten to share in with myself and my friends. I got to tour the world doing stand-up on stages across continents, and there's always the other side of any given year where you have some devastating losses. This year we lost a number of entertainers that we love to look up to. We lost some relatives that we say, I can't imagine life without them, and one big, giant Sweaty. So you hear this all the time, especially around this time of year. It's the season of giving. It's peace on earth, goodwill, put a little love in your heart, all that good stuff. And I know it sounds passe and cliche to extend that offer to y'all, but just remember the holidays aren't all that easy for everybody. And a caring word, a smile, hell, a conversation can go a long way. And if you don't feel like doing it, just remember that's probably what John Schnepp would do. So make the big man proud. Throw it to the wide to say goodbye. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Dani Fernandez. To each and every one of y'all out there, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Enjoy your holidays. From all of us to all of you, remember, the light at the end of the tunnel may be you. Good night, everybody.
That was so sweet.
Hey everybody, Mark Ellis here. Thanks for watching this episode of Collider Movie Talk. You want to watch more? Then click up here, or you can click right here for more great content from Collider. And if you haven't subscribed to Collider Video, do so right now and share this vid with your friends. Thanks for watching.